we're going to be like Shanahan and Lynch, man. We're going to get petty. We're going to list you guys. So we've both been watching Niners football since around 06. Because De'Vondre Campbell has left such a stain on the Niners this year, we're going to dive into our top 5 most hated, most disliked 49ers.
Most disliked. This is a family-friendly podcast.
We're not trying to catch enemies here, okay? We don't hate anybody. No hate. Just, I guess, most disliked 49ers. Sage, let's go 5-1. Let's go 5-1. We'll go offsetting. So why don't you go with your 5th guy?
Me? Okay. This is because when I was making this list, right, it was hard for me. It was hard because there's certain guys, there's the Trey Lances, the McGlincheys, the Solomon Thomases, where they're busts. And as a fan, you just don't like them and it bothers you. But then you have guys like Campbell who deserve the hatred, right? So you just have to find
100%. Yes.
You have to find that happy medium, and just kind of weigh it in. How could you do it? 5 for me. It was tough. I went Jake Moody. I mean, the guy's a draft pick. You spend a draft pick on
You're already saying Moody's number 5 all time for you? That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
dude hit a 54-yarder to go up in the 4th quarter of a Super Bowl like 10 months ago. Wow.
I think it's my relationship with the draft pick more so that you spend, if you're drafting a guy that high, he better be something special. Like you look at the Vikings, their rookie kicker, Reichard. You look at all these other teams with rookie kickers. I mean, the Chiefs just like found 3 guys off the streets. They all work. We have a kicker who's a clear liability, to say the least.
Yeah.
Clear liability. And you spend a pick on him. He's shaky. He can't kick it out of the end zone. I just don't understand why. And I like I said, I understand there's a boundary, there's a limit between over or underperforming your draft pick and actually being like a complete piece of shit. So I felt bad putting him here, but Jake Moody, I never liked him. I never trusted him. He gives me anxiety in a position where you never want to have it. So I'm going Moody right there.
Okay. So for my number 5, Sage, I'm going with a little bit of a throwback. I don't know if a lot of the chat's going to remember this guy. I have Chris Culliver. At number 5.
The homophobe, right?
Okay. God damn it, Sage. I was going to give a nice little thing into it. But, so this guy was the cornerback on those Harbaugh Niners teams. Consistently got cooked. He was on one of the best defenses, I think, of the past 15 years, but was for sure the weak spot, was always going to be the second cornerback. And probably the most infamous thing he did was before the Super Bowl, called out a certain demographic of people that Michael Sam at the time belonged to, and we're not talking about SEC Defensive Player of the Years, okay? So you're kind of catching my drift. Had a negative comment, and, we let it go. Right? We kind of just focused on football. Got torched the entire game. Like, I think Anquan Bolden literally made him his son, had him in his pocket the entire game. I'll never forget it. Because, Sage, remember that fucking team, how confident everybody was going into that Super Bowl. Niners were -5.5. Everybody on CBS picked the Niners. It was clean sweep, 49ers. We should have won that game. Guys like Chris Culver, creating distractions, getting lit up in the Super Bowl, reasons that we lost that. So at number 5, I got Chris Culver.
Okay, I like it. I don't hate it. I mean, he was more of an off the field issue, I guess. You just hate him for that one moment. But these are, your own team. If this was Warriors, it'd be way easier for me because the list is like 30 deep. With Niners, It's kind of hard just to hate like an individual player. They're in and out of your life, one side of the ball. I'm going to go 4. Another, I guess, kind of, it's hard to weigh in, but 4, I'm going Dante Pettis. I know. It's just another
Jake Moody and Dante Pettis, bro. Who would have thought?
Wow. Because like in my
I think
head,
you're forgetting some. I think you're forgetting some, bro. Because
I think I am too.
I got a clear top 4.
To be fair, Chase did this topic on me 2 hours ago, so I barely had any time to prep it. But I was just thinking, like, what? No prep. I'm gonna go just off the top of my head. And another bust, another complete bust that the team like had high aspirations for. I don't know where exactly. I think maybe late first, early second.
He was first.
Well, yeah, and just a complete nothing. Never showed up.
Maybe second.
Yeah, never showed up. We cut him. I think he went to the Bears in that Trey Lance Trey Lance Justin Fields game. He caught the game-winning touchdown or the go-ahead touchdown. Was talking mad shit about the Niners. Said we're a second-class organization. So just always had bad blood with him. So I'm gonna go Dante Pettis 4.
Okay, so. My number 4, Sage, we just talked about him. I'm putting De'Vondre Campbell at number 4. The only reason that he's not higher up on this list is because this wasn't like a Super Bowl contending team. We're already knocked out of the playoffs, 3 more games left in the season. But he was terrible, man. He was terrible the entire year. Clearly made this defense not like the other defenses that we've seen the past 5 years. Then, I mean, we should have seen it before the game. Did you see the video of Dre Greenlaw trying to get the entire linebacker core all hyped up? And he just looks desolate. He looks desolate, doesn't want to be anything a part of it. And, yeah, we should have known it was coming. But what he did in that last game, not going into the game when he got called in, I can only think of Antonio Brown and Vernon Davis's brother as the people who ever did that in NFL history. So, De'Vondre Campbell, fuck you, bro. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Number 4 for me.
Number 3 for me, De'Vondre Campbell. I'll just piggyback off that for all the reasons we said. I mean, he's a traitor, openly talked shit about the team while he was on the team, tried to come back after doing it, quit on the team. I've never seen that before. Quit on the team and expected just a warm welcome back. The audacity, plotted on our downfall and never produced anything well. I mean, I think me and Chase came on these mics every week after the Niners games and just said like, wow, do you know who sucks? De'Vondre Campbell. You know who keeps getting cooked? De'Vondre Campbell. When we had the Seahawks dead to rights, you know who they kept going at? De'Vondre Campbell. So one of my least favorite Niners for sure. And he deserves the title for the hatred. Up to you, Chase.
Okay. So that was your number 3 too?
That was number 3.
Okay.
That was your number 4, right?
So people might light me up. People may think that he's not high enough. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo's at number 3. I don't care that he made a Super Bowl. We had the.
You were the biggest Jimmy guy too.
Hold on,
funniest
shut
shit.
The fuck up. Sage.
You were the
shut
biggest
the
Jimmy guy. No,
speak.
you don't tell me to shut the
Let
fuck
me
up on my
fucking
podcast.
Speak. Let me speak. What I'm saying is that Jimmy made it to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. Let's be honest, guys. He shitted away a golden fucking opportunity that we had. We had the best roster in football. He literally threw the ball 8 times in an NFC Championship game. 8 times. We did not need him. So don't act like we wouldn't have made those Super Bowls if Jimmy G wasn't our quarterback. He fucked us. And later, remember after that Rams NFC Championship game loss, he's like, oh, see you guys later. Basically was kind of just like talking shit throughout the offseason. Couldn't get any BK. Thank you, BK. I'm not actually on drugs, but all I'm going to say is that Jimmy was a terrible quarterback for us. We didn't win a Super Bowl because he couldn't hit Emmanuel Sanders on that deep pass where he was wide open. If he hits that, we win. Top 5 most hated Niners of all time. You all know Jimmy G's there. You all know Jimmy G's there. You just don't want to say it. Jimmy G at 3 for me.
I mean, I can't hate it, but I don't love it. I mean, the guy brought us some, wealth, some.
He did not bring us anywhere. He did not bring us anywhere.
He brought us to a Super Bowl. He carried us to a Super Bowl. You got to give him that.
He carried us to a Super Bowl. And what drugs are you taking?
I know. No, I mean, it's rough. Putting him top 5. Come on, brother. Like, that's a little much.
I don't know. Like I said, I know the chat was going to light me up. But I got to say it. I believe in it.
I mean,
chat, I'm not going to give you false takes here. I'm not going to give you any takes I don't believe. Jimmy G number 3.
We clearly both have the same number 1.
Well, what's your number 2?
Number 2, Chase, you're going to hate it.
I don't think I will.
Okay, I'm going Trey Lance. I'm sorry.
I got number 2, Trey Lance, too.
I mean, like I said at the beginning, like it's so tough.
Chat, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, it's so tough because it's like, imagine if Shanahan traded up 3 first-round picks to draft me. Just like what's his name? Lil Sass. When the Lions drafted him, he's like me. It's like that.
Sasquatch?
Yeah, Lil Sasquatch. Have you ever seen that video?
The meme. Okay, yeah. I thought you meant he actually got. Okay.
Where the Lions drafted. I mean, because it's not his fault. He played 2 games. He got.
It
his
is
leg
his
broken.
fault. He's dog shit, Sage. Stop it.
Well, okay.
Stop
okay.
acting like if we fucking put him in some better system that it would have been different.
Bro, Chase,
they fucked up the pick. Trey Lance is bad.
Yeah,
Trey Lance did nothing to help that out.
Okay.
Neither did God.
We could riff off each other.
We could blame God as well. God should have made Trey Lance a better football player.
Okay, we could riff.
Blame everybody except for fucking Trey Lance.
It's more on Shanahan, right? Shanahan made me hate him. Shanahan made me lose love in Trey Lance, right? It's Lance's fault. He sucks. Like from the beginning, we saw the practice videos. Couldn't throw a spiral to save his life. Couldn't throw a check down. Everything was a fastball. I wanted to love the guy. I wanted to get behind it, but he made it impossible. We're seeing the fallout from his from the trade now. Right, we're seeing like how just what are you doing? How young, like how old the team is. I said it. Micah Parsons went in the original spot the Niners had. Right, you trade up 3 first-round picks to get a player who's Micah's water boy now. You basically set your franchise back 3 years on first round picks. And look at the roster. It's old. There's no young studs. I don't know if I missed anything, but it's on Shanahan as well.
Yeah, okay. You could blame Shanahan. I'm just going to say Trey Lance sucked. We traded 3 first-round picks for him. Just terrible. I mean, look at him in Dallas. He's the third-string quarterback. Can't even get onto the field. Sage, you got to say, I mean, Jamarcus Russell, I get because he was on coding by year 3. That's why you could say he was the number 1 draft bust of all time. But Trey Lance has to be top 3 on any list. I don't see any all-time NFL bust list without Trey Lance being on there. I don't think in my lifetime I've ever had a quarterback get drafted top 3 by the Niners, except for Alex Smith, but I liked Alex Smith. Trey Lance was a guy, man. He was supposed to be the future of the 49ers. We had the team ready to go. Best roster, up and down. All he had to do was be a solid quarterback. Couldn't even get on the field. We had to bring Jimmy G back. Set us back.
Yeah, they had to bring Jimmy G back.
He's gonna set us back 5 years.
Dude, and it would be 10 if they didn't fall ass backwards into
honestly
Purdy.
Could be number 1. He
could be number one. But number 1, I mean, come on. I know.
So I thought it was obvious, but let's see.
Okay, it has to be Juszczyk, right?
No.
No. Kyle Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without
no doubt.
You could take this one. I took the last one. But...
Yeah, so I'll take this one because I started being a Niner fan, I think, around 2006. And the first playoff team that I had the entire way was that 2011 team. I don't think that they let up a rushing touchdown till week 15. Frank Gore, great O-line, that Harbaugh run game that you're seeing in LA right now with the Chargers. This one was twice as good. The team was humming. I think they were either the 1 or the 2 seed the entire year, got the NFC Championship game at home. The defense was the same defense that we saw all year. The only difference and why the New York Giants beat us at Candlestick, Kyle Williams, 2 fumbles. I mean, the first one, I think, was one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. It just hit like off the side of his leg. I think on the field stage, they didn't even call it a fumble, but eventually they replay it. They're like, yeah, it hit off his fucking knee. And then you get the one at the end of the game. I think it was actually maybe even an OT where he gets the punt, tries to run it, just fucking one guy just punches it out. And the Niners were done. The Niners were cooked. That team with Harbaugh never won a Super Bowl. I can argue, except for the Ravens year, that was their best chance to win it. So Kyle Williams completely fucked that game up and that entire season. So Kyle Williams got to be number 1 for me, Sage.
Chase, whenever something bad happens to the Niners, what do I always say to you? They're cursed. I think that was the first domino to fall, like in the playoff cursing of the 49ers. Was that right there? I mean, when you go through the string of just awful playoff moments for the Niners, that's where you end. All roads lead to Kyle Williams. All top 5 hate lists lead to Kyle Williams. We both have him number 1. We said it from 5. We knew we were going to have the same guy. So we didn't prep this at all before about who was going to have what where. But I think if you did like a Family Feud style, 100 whatever random people, you got 98 Kyle Williams, and you have everyone saying good answer once you say it. So Kyle Williams got to be number 1 for every 49er fan.
You know what's crazy? I remember him his rookie year being like a really good rookie and like a lot of people being excited about him.
Yeah.
Sage,
no,
I think after the 49ers, I don't know if he ever fucking played in the NFL again. Like, I legit don't know if he got a catch or what. I did not hear once about Kyle Williams after that play.
It got shaded after. I mean, every memory you have is about that.
What a nightmare. What a nightmare. But all right, Sage, we're done with that. Let's stop talking about the negative parts about the 49ers season. We're going to talk a little bit more about them on either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know what we're going to do, Sage, because we can't do a preview for the Miami game. We can't just fucking preview that game for 45
I don't think
minutes.
anyone gives a shit about the Niners.
Nobody gives a shit about it.
It's like, what are we going to say? Like, oh, we got to stop Tyreek Hill. Like, I love the De'Vondre Campbell matchup. No one gives a fuck. Your season's cooked. We'll just come up with some segments, some fun topics to talk about, and we could talk about other teams that are actually competing here.
Absolutely. All right, Sage. So let's get